Thanks for tuning in. This is a Sweet Cyclist. Today we're going to be looking at the Magicshine Allty 1000 bicycle headlight. So here we have the Magicshine Allty 1000 bicycle headlight. This is an exciting new light by Magicshine as a part of their Allty line of urban all-in-one headlights. I want to thank Magicshine for providing this light to be reviewed. If we look over some of the packaging of the light, you can see it's pretty plastic intensive. Overall, the colors are really bright and crisp. I like the graphics. I don't like the way it's being displayed in here though, with all this plastic, the shrouding, you can't really see the light itself. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box and review the specs while we do that. So this is an impressive light. It's $84.99 and it has 1000 lumens, as the name would imply. What makes this light really unique is the really small form factor and the fact that it has a 21700 lithium-ion battery in here. This is a really high capacity lithium-ion battery that we're just now more recently seeing with integrated into bicycle headlights. It has 4000 milliamps of capacity, which is really impressive, so you get long run times with this. It has a single Cree XP-L V6 LED in here. And you can see in terms of the lens design, just a basic kind of spotlight. It also has a daytime running light, which is a really cool feature to see, integrated into the front. Additionally, it has a Garmin compatible mount, and this is really another great feature to see. Before, everyone was coming out with their own proprietary mounts, but with these Garmin kind of quarter turn style, you can actually put this on an existing mount. So if you already have a kind of a Magicshine TTA mount or any other kind of barfly K-mount style Garmin mount compatible, you can just kind of drop it in here and it's really cool. And it's so lightweight that it really fits well, and with the form factor, it's really a cool way to mount the light. Now let's take a moment to look at the weight of the light. If we look at the light head with battery installed, we're at 130 grams. Adding the mount, we go up to 146 grams. So overall, pretty light. All right, now let's take a closer look at the Magicshine Allty 1000 light. It's a really impressive light overall. It's a big step up from the previous Allty lights. 1000 lumens, you got the 21700 battery, high capacity battery. If we do a 360 view on the light, you can see up front, we have a single Cree LED with a kind of a basic spotlight emitter. And what makes this really unique is on top you have a dedicated daytime running light. And this is a really nice feature. Running lights during the day is becoming much more popular, and it's a nice way to improve your visibility. So having a dedicated light with a longer runtime is a really great feature. If we look at the side profile, pretty basic. The battery's integrated, so this is all one piece. It has a very interesting kind of side profile as well, where the light head protrudes downward a bit. And I think this was designed to kind of make it more compatible with these kind of typical out front style mounts. This is the Magicshine TTA mount, but it's really typical to like K-mount or barfly style ones. It's pretty nice, and you can actually see it fits in with the Garmin quarter style mount, and then the protruding part of the light head kind of sits out in front. So you simply rotate it out and remove it. So really nice feature. A lot of companies have all been doing their own proprietary clamps and headlamp style like mounting. With this, you can kind of share the same mount across multiple devices, and it's a great way to kind of standardize things. And there we see the mount itself. Seems well constructed, it's integrated in already. We have our little port, USB port here. Fortunately, this is not USB Type-C, it's still the micro USB. And otherwise, yeah, the back is really simple, and that's it. The nice feature about this, although it doesn't have the OLED screen, you do get the kind of a more advanced battery indicator. Instead of having a backlit button, as we have with like the Monteer. So if you see here, if we compare these two, this one is a lot harder to see. With this kind of illuminated ring, it's much more visible, more modern appearance too. So it's a great upgrade. You do a single click to kind of switch between modes. You can run just the daytime running lights and then both at different power settings. You can simply cycle through. With the daytime running lights, you can see it's pretty bright. What's great is you don't have to click through flash mode, which is always a really annoying thing with lights, especially as you have more power. The flash in mode on a nighttime trail can blind you and everyone around you. So to get around that, they finally incorporated a double click. And one mode, you have the daytime running lights with just the bottom light clicking, flashing. So really nice. And then you also have this alternative flash mode with a non-uniform pulse. So it's really great improvements. I think they took a lot of what made the Monteer 1400 a great light, and then improved it by improving the mount, increasing the battery capacity, adding the daytime running lights, making the battery indicator more obvious, and you don't have to go through flash mode anymore, which is a really great feature. So in terms of competition, I think the Fenix BC21R is probably a more direct competitor. These are very similar lights overall. They both run on a single battery. The Fenix is a 18650, while the Magicshine is a 21700, which is higher capacity. The Fenix has a removable battery, which is a nice feature, while the Magicshine has it integrated. The Fenix has a single Cree LED, while the Magicshine has a daytime running light incorporated as well. However, the Fenix has a beam cutoff, which is a nice feature. The Fenix comes in at $75, while the Allty 1000 is $85, so really close in price. However, I think the Allty 1000 is the better buy. The daytime running light is really great. If we look at the battery indicator, I think this is a much nicer, cleaner implementation. And with both, you don't have to cycle through flash, which is great. I think the only downside to really the Magicshine is the lack of a removable battery, which might make this kind of obsolete in a few years if the battery dies. Additionally, the Garmin mount on the Magicshine is a really huge plus. Like I mentioned before, you don't have to have a bunch of proprietary mounts. You can finally share them between devices, as the Garmin quarter turn is a really clean and universal style. And overall, I think the actual Magicshine is lighter, as the Fenix has a metal integrated light head. Now let's take a look at the light output of the Allty 1000. If we look at the beam pattern of the light, you can see there's a distributed hot spot at the center, and then a lot of spread around that. If we look at the light pattern on the road, we have the DRL mode, which doesn't illuminate very much, but is good for daytime riding. We have low at 250 lumens and 12.5 hours. We have medium with 500 lumens and 4 hours, and then high at 1000 lumens and 1.8 hours. There's also two flash modes, this irregular flash 1 for 3 hours, and then a flash 2, which is a normal, just pulsing, for up to 7.2 hours. If we look at the low, medium, high comparison side by side, you can see with the jumps in power, there's quite a bit of difference. I found that medium or high are better, while low is a little too dim to ride with. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Allty 1000. One of the first pros is the 21700 lithium ion cell. It's a type of battery we don't typically see in bicycle headlights. One con is that the battery is fully integrated. It's not removable like the Allty 2000, which makes the battery one of the weak points of the lights. Once that dies, you have to replace everything. Another thing I like about the light is the integrated DRL and the fact that you have separate Cree LED. This lets you run the light during the day in DRL mode with very low power usage. One negative about the light is the run times are limited at the higher settings. Another thing I like about the light is the integrated quarter turn Garmin mount style. This is a great step toward a standardization of bicycle headlights and lets you reuse your current mounts without having to buy additional accessories or use proprietary mounts. One thing I don't like about the light is that it lacks a beam cutoff. That would be one feature that would really take this light to the next level. Now let's give the light a final rating. Out of 10, I would give it an 8.8. I think it's a really competitive and modern light. It packs a lot of great features you don't typically see at this price point for commuter lights. The built-in Garmin mount, the DRL lights, and the higher capacity battery are all really rare things to see in one light. I wish Magicshine would make the battery replaceable and add a beam cutoff. With those couple changes, I think this could be a almost perfect commuter light. And I'd highly recommend it for anybody looking for something compact with great features. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel. Follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist, and visit our website at thesweetcyclist.com for more content. This is Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.